Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share all about how I plan and set my goals for the year. I also want to talk you through some of the different organizational systems that I use that really help to keep me on track, keep me organized, keep me motivated, and I hope this is going to be really helpful to you guys as well. It is the beginning of the year right now, which I think is a perfect time to kind of reflect, see where you want to go for the next year, set some goals. But if you're watching this, it's 6 months from now. You can still of course use these same techniques. You don't have to wait for a new year, for a new month, even till Monday. If you want to change your life and you want to be different and feel better, you can do it right now. So we're going to be focusing on 3 main parts in this video. This is kind of how I break it down and organize it for myself. So I call the first part visualizing, dreaming, and designing. The second part is going to be recording and making these things actionable. And the third part is going to be practicing this daily and setting up systems for yourself that you can rely on, that keep you motivated and organized. So starting out with the first part, this is the visualizing, the dreaming, and the designing of your future, of your life. This part is really about tuning in to your inner voice, to your higher self, and really asking yourself, what is it that I want from my life? When you do this, you really have to think with an open heart, and you have to imagine yourself like you are creating this life or dreaming of this life, and there is no possibility to fail. You have to take the fear out of this part. You really have to remove that fear element that we all have. It's very human, very natural, but for this part it's really important to open your heart, open your mind, and really think about who do you want to be? Creating that woman or that man. What is that person doing? How are they living their life? What are they doing in the morning? How do they handle difficult situations? What kind of job do you have? What kind of income do you have? Where do you live? How is your home? What kind of romantic relationship are you in? How do you treat each other? What kind of friends do you have? How's your relationship with your family? There are a lot of different questions that you can ask yourself, but it's really about envisioning the most beautiful and truest and most authentic life to you. I think for a lot of us, we have that kind of innate knowing of what it is that we want to do. It can feel like something is kind of tugging at your heart, and that is the most amazing thing, because if you know what that thing is that you want to be doing or how you want to be living, it's literally about just bringing that into your existence. But on the other hand, if you are not in that position and maybe you are living with a lot of fear, maybe you had some traumatic experiences in the past, or you just have a lot of limiting thoughts about yourself and about your abilities, then I would recommend to really try to get in touch with your inner self, with your higher self. You can do this through meditation, through journaling, and really get to know yourself and know what it is that gets you excited and makes you happy. And it's not always something that is going to be easy. Oftentimes our dreams and our goals and our passions, they require a lot of work. They require stepping out of our comfort zone. It's not always a walk in the park, and it's not always that if you achieve all those things, you're just gonna put your feet up and relax all day. Maybe that is a goal of yours, but for the most part, these things that we really want to do, they do require us to do something different, something sometimes scary and out of our comfort zone. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was on the Skinny Confidential. They were interviewing Dean Graziosi, and he said something so interesting that stuck with me and that I think will stick with me for a really long time. And he was talking about how instead of looking forward and projecting into the future what it is that you would want from your life, for some people it's even more beneficial to imagine themselves in exactly 1 year from now. So he said something along the lines of, imagine it is exactly 1 year from now, you are standing at the same place or you're sitting in the same place. It's been exactly 1 year, and this 1 year has been the absolute best year of your life. You feel so good, you feel so successful and happy and proud and whole, and looking back you can confidently say that this was the best year of your life. And really asking yourself what would be the biggest thing that would have changed your life? What are the things that if you did would make you feel that way? How would you be living? What would you have been doing or not doing? And then from there really working backwards and seeing okay, if I want to have the best year of my life, this this is now the things that I need to be working on. So now that you have visualized and you've kind of designed your future and asked yourself really like, who do I want to be? How do I want to feel? How do I want to be living my life? And again, doing this with an open heart, without fear, really believing that anything is possible. Now that you have that vision, it's so important to record these goals and these visions for yourself. I really love separating my goals into different categories because I think it makes it easier and more digestible for our brain and for our minds. And goals don't have to be like outrageous either. You know, you could have some short-term goals, some long-term goals. When you're setting goals for the year, I think it's important to not like overstretch your goals. So for example, one of my goals is to eventually own a house, but I know that that's not going to be possible this year. So that kind of goal, I kind of categorize it into like a bigger picture kind of section or category, so that when I look at my goals, I know that they are achievable. Even though they're not always really easy to do, they are definitely going to challenge me to step out of my comfort zone, and it's going to be scary at times, but I know that it is something that is within my reach. Whereas again, like buying a house, hopefully that's going to be something that I can do in the future, but not right now. So I think that's important to kind of distinguish. So I have my goals categorized into professional, so my work online. Another category is for our brand Nourish 3. The third one is family/personal. Then I also have a home and apartment category because we of course moved into our new apartment and we're still not done decorating and getting all of the furniture and all of that. So that's also a goal. And then health and wellness as well. And then I also have another kind of section which I think is really important, and that's something that I'm going to challenge you guys to do as well, and that is to have a category that's called, for me, I wrote something scary / really out of my comfort zone. This can really be from any of the categories, but I wanted to have this in a separate section so that I can see it by itself. And I just have a couple of things on here, and in case they don't happen, like it's not the end of the world, but I think it is important sometimes to really set like a strong goal for yourself and really work towards that and really aim towards that. And even if you don't reach it to 100%, even if you just get to 90% or 80%, that is still 80% more than what you would have tried for anyway. So I think that's a really important one, just to have like one or two really big, scary, I know this is good for me, I know I should be doing this, but it is going to require a lot of bravery, and I think we all need one or two of those things in our goal list. I have my goals written down, by the way, in my journal. I shared a little bit about this in my most recent video, my vlog. I'll have that video linked below if you guys haven't seen it, but I do think it's really important to actually record your goals and to write them down in something like a journal. Maybe you want to have it somewhere on your computer, but I really like a journal. I like to have it like physically. It almost starts the whole manifestation process and makes it a little bit more real. And our mind and our brain are truly so powerful, especially when it comes to writing things down, because you are directing your attention to something. And when we tell our brain or our mind what to focus on, that is what it's going to be focusing on and searching for throughout the day. It's really incredible. If you guys haven't tried this, if you're not into journaling yet, then definitely get into it. I would highly, highly recommend it. It has personally changed my life. I've been able to achieve so many of the goals and the visions that I had for myself simply from writing things down, making it a habit, and then practicing these things, of course, which is the third part that I'm going to share with you guys. Something else that I think is really important when it comes to making goals is to not always focus on the end result. So say one of your goals is to read more books, or maybe it's a health and wellness goal like to drink more water or to lose some weight, gain some muscle, or maybe it's to sleep more. Whatever the goal is, I think it's really important to kind of work backwards, and instead of saying I want to read more books, you should really think about how you're going to be doing these things instead and let that be the actual goal. So giving your brain a clear instruction of when you're going to be doing it and for how long. So for example, if your goal is again to read more books, the goal can then be, for example, to read 30 minutes before you go to bed. So there you have an action and a time, because these kind of goals you can actually stay accountable for and you can control them. Whereas if it's something like I want to read more, it's not clear enough, or let's say grow your social media following, or get promoted, or make more money. Sometimes these things are like, they're great goals, but they're not always easy to measure or to stay 100% accountable for. If one of your goals is to grow on social media, it could be then I'm going to be creating this amount of content every week, or I'm going to be dedicating this amount of time to exceeding in my craft. So these are the things that you can really stay accountable for. You have control over them, and I think you're way more likely to succeed in the end goal. So once you've visualized and really recorded your goals into different categories and you feel really happy and excited about them, the third part is to practice these daily and to also set up systems and routines that are going to support you into developing these new habits and really making sure that you are achieving these goals and these things that you want for yourself. A lot of you guys probably know I am a huge advocate for having a morning routine and an evening routine. It does not have to be anything crazy or super long, but I do think it's really important to have these kind of pillars at the beginning of your day and at the end of the day, because it really does set the tone for the day. It kind of primes and prepares your mind, your body, and really your energy, and really directs it into a positive place. And with all the craziness that's going on in the world, especially right now, I think it's so important, more important than ever before, to make sure that your mind is in a good place, because your mind is so powerful. If we have a good relationship to ourselves and we have a positive outlook on life and we're confident in who we are and what we want to be doing, we can move mountains. Anything that we could ever want in life truly starts with us. Everything is going to come from within us. There's never going to be a perfect place, time, person, experience, moment. We really need to kickstart it and start the fire from the inside first, and then the doors will open. And something as simple as a little morning routine to set your mind right can be really powerful. I highly recommend doing a little bit of journaling as part of your morning routine. Maybe it's not realistic to do it every single day, but at least a few times a week to keep coming back to yourself. For me, journaling is such a great way to really get in touch with my higher self. It's amazing what happens when you put your pen to paper and you just let it flow. Like, you don't think about what you're writing. I find journaling so therapeutic as well. If there's an issue that I'm dealing with, or if I'm feeling uncertain about something, just writing it down and then seeing what comes up. I also like to kind of give myself advice as if I was my own friend or someone that I really cared about. Like, what would I tell that person if I had those issues that I was writing about, or those insecurities or things that were bothering me? And it's truly amazing what can appear on the paper. And for some people, meditating might be a really useful tool as well. I also like to meditate. It just depends. Sometimes I do both. Sometimes I just do one or the other. So I journal in this notebook. This is a Filofax. And I also have in here, in the beginning of my journal, so before I write, I have a few kind of like positivity pages and things that really inspire me, that really motivate me and help me. I have lists and photos of things that I'm proud of that happened last year, because I do think it's important, and also a little bit of a confidence booster to actually see what you accomplished already, things that you maybe once had on your goals list and that have come true. I think that's really important to remind yourself of. I also have a list of what I'd like more of in 2021, and have different pictures and different words that really inspire me. I have my goals here as well. And then I have my optimal morning and evening routine on this page too. And I like that when I open my journal, I kind of have to like flip through these pages here in the front to get to where I write. And I like having that little reminder. I think it's really important to keep showing your brain and your mind like where to focus on or where to focus towards. And I think that's really powerful, especially when you do it in the morning as well, when you've just slept, you have a new day ahead of you. It's really calm and quiet. It is a really beautiful time to be practicing these things, and it doesn't have to be a super long thing either. You have to make it work for you, but I do think that it's really, really important. I would also recommend in your journal to make a page or print out some pictures or words again of who the best version of yourself is. What kind of energy does she have? How does she deal with difficult situations? What are they doing throughout the day? I think that's also a really nice thing to have in your journal to kind of refer to and look to, because I think it is very easy to compare ourselves to other people, and doing so in a negative way. And maybe that makes you feel low because you think about like all the things that that person has that you don't have. And instead of doing that, really envisioning the best version of yourself. So not feeling like you have to compare yourself to anyone else. You can get inspiration from other people, but always bringing it back to yourself. And I think if you have a page in your journal where it's all about you and your best version, I think that's something really nice to reference to, especially in the morning when you're starting your day, so you can really tap in and tune in to that person or your higher self. So in addition to my journal, I want to share a few of the other kind of organizational systems that I use that really help to keep me on track, keep me organized. The first one is the calendar app on my computer, and it also syncs to my phone. I just use the one that comes with my MacBook. It's just the calendar app. This is what I use to schedule all of my appointments, any content that is due, whether that is for YouTube or for Instagram. We schedule all of our business meetings in there too, all of our calls, and all of our personal things as well. And I like to do this kind of planning on my computer because things can change quite quickly, and I like to be able to just move things around, because I personally find if I do it in something like this does have pages where you can plan, like calendar pages. It does have that, but I do prefer on a computer because it's just easier to move things around. And I also like that it syncs to my phone, so I always have my calendar wherever I am. Another thing I use is the Notes app on my computer and on my phone. I did recently just get Evernote, which has been really great too. It has a few more tools and features than Notes, and I really like that. On this app is where I record all of my ideas, from video ideas to things that I want for the apartment, really anything, like all of my notes, my to-do lists, my shopping list, all of that will go into my computer or into my phone. Again, I like the fact that it's easy to edit and to change things out as opposed to writing it down physically on a piece of paper or in a notebook. I literally have hundreds of notes in my computer, and I do like that with Evernote you can kind of organize them into different categories. So I have, or notebooks they call them actually. So I have my like main to-do list, and within that I have different categories of things that I need to do. I have like what's urgent, and then I have different categories for things that I'm working on within that are due. Then I have my business online. I have different categories within there. I have our brand, I have personal, and within personal I have like personal development, personal life, apartment, wedding planning. Then I have upcoming videos. Within there I have different categories as well, and I record whenever I have a video idea. I kind of start to plan it out within a different note, and then I have a list of ideas that are still to form, so like things that I might want to do that still need a little bit more structure. Sometimes ideas start in my journal when I'm writing, and then I transfer them onto a note because again, I like how easy it is to change things up, to move things around if I have to. I can, put things in bold, underline, different colors, and for me it's just a little bit easier that way. And also, as mentioned, a part of my Notes app is my to-do list. I think this is so important to have. If I didn't write the things that I have to do down, it would just be swimming in my head. It would literally take up so much energy from myself and thinking ability, and I don't think it would be so good for me creatively either when I have like all of these things that I'm thinking about. So I really like to make a to-do list. I will usually do this either at the end of the night for the next morning, or if I didn't do it then, I will do it in the morning. And sometimes I don't get to all of the things that I wanted to do, and that's okay. They just go over to the next day. And then the fifth kind of tool that I use is my wellness and self-care planner, which I made a video about this 2 years ago. I would highly recommend checking out that video if you guys haven't seen it already. I will also, by the way, have a few other videos listed down below that are on this topic. If you guys want to hear more of my advice and tips and different things that I do, I will have a list of videos down below. But this planner is so helpful to me, and actually made it available to you guys as well if you wanted to download it. I have recently given it a little bit of a makeover and an update in terms of the colors and the layout. I worked with a really talented graphic designer to make this happen, and it's almost done. And once it is, I will make another video about this and share with you guys exactly how I use it. But it's basically a table with all the days of the week, and then on the left side I have different categories from meditation to reading to skincare, hair care. I have a greens category as well. And what I I like to do is either make notes or kind of tick off in each of those categories for that day. And it really helps to kind of visually show me like what I am doing throughout the day if I'm working on my goals. But I will have a whole video on that coming up very soon with the updated planner that you guys can download for free. So stay tuned for that. But those are the main kind of organizational systems that I use that really help me. And really at the end of the day, it's really about showing up for yourself, showing up for the person that you want to be, despite any limiting thoughts, negative thoughts, beliefs about yourself that you can or cannot do something, being bigger than all of that and really proving to yourself that you are capable of being who you want to be despite anything that maybe happened in your past or what people think of you, society, your friends, your parents. It doesn't matter. You have that North Star within you, within your soul. We all deserve to have a beautiful life and to be happy and to go after our goals and our dreams. And it is all possible if you commit to it and you make a promise to yourself that you are going to do it. That is all you need. I really hope that this video was helpful in showing you some of the ways that you can really visualize that, then again recording these things, and then really making it actionable and setting up routines and systems that will really help to support you in that. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know if you want to see more videos like this on similar topics. I completely forgot I wanted to do a giveaway for you guys in this video as well. So one of you guys can win all of the products that you see on the screen right now, and all you have to do to enter is just leave a comment under my latest Instagram picture. I will have a link for it down below. It can be any comment that you like, and that will count as your entry. I hope that you're all having a beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Mwah. Bye guys.